Hey guys, it's Loves to Loom here. Today I'm going to be showing you how to create this super cute Talus bracelet. This was created by Adele.Griffiths on Instagram. If you're not following her, you definitely want to give her a follow. I actually love going to her account. It's one of my favorites. She has the best color combinations. Even if they're not her own designs, the bracelets always look so beautiful, and I just like going there to get some ideas for colors. So yeah, definitely check her out. I'll have her information in the box below. This design here is not to be confused with the Talus bracelet, which was also created by Adele, but that is on Chadaros_bling, her channel on YouTube. So you can check that out too. Similar names, but different looks altogether. So with that being said, this design here does take approximately 250 bands, I want to say, and that is for the full wrap, which is for this one here. This one here I did using 4 bar pins wide, so you would definitely need an extension if you just do that one. So yeah, without wasting any more time, let's get started. To make this bracelet, you will need at least 4 bar pins, but if you want a full wrap, you will need to have 8, because we have 4 wide, and then I have the next 4 in front, so 2 long. So I'm making a full wrap today, but like I said in the intro, you can do it with just the 4. You would just need an extension. You want to make sure that your bar pins are aligned like so, and then you need 1 C-clip and your hook. So the first bands that we're going to lay are going to be like the perimeter border band, which is the green in this one here, running along the side. So we're going to start by laying the band here in the middle. If you want a tighter close right here, use 2 bands right here. And then we're going to do the same going to the right here. My fingers have a mind of their own today, I swear. And 1 to the left like so. And now we're just going to follow up by going up the right and left side. So you can definitely do 1 side at a time. Super easy, just a normal single chain. So we're going to do this all the way up. When you reach the very top, just wait for me to get there, and then I'll show you what to do next. So I'll be right back. Okay, so when we get to the top here, we're going to bring them in. But for these top 2, we want to cap them. So I'm just going to use my hook. Or you can do it straight on the loom. And we're just going to cap those, just to give it a little bit of a cleaner closure. And it just makes it nice and tight. Like so. And we're not going to put anything in the center right now. We're going to leave that for the very end. So once you have that done, we're going to come back down to the beginning. And now we're going to lay our center bands, which are the fuchsia in this bracelet here, making like the X's up the center. I'm going to start by going from the left out to the right, and then the right crossing up to the left like so. Doing that again. And you want to make sure if you start on the left, going that way, and then that way, you do that every time. Just keep it consistent. It doesn't matter which way you go, but you want to do it the same every time. So this part is super easy. So we're going to do this until we reach the top. And then I'll come back and show you what to do next. Now the very last X we lay is going to be doubled, but I'll come back for that part. Alrighty, so I'm at the top of my loom, and I left this one blank only because, like I just mentioned, we want that double capped. So I'm going to use my hook, wrap it around twice, and then placing it on my left pin, and then I'll stretch it up to the right. And we're going to do the same for the opposite side. Once again, this is just for the ending being nice and tight. Adele said that without it being capped, it was kind of hanging out and really loose at the end. So, oh, lost my focus. Sorry. So that's what it should look like there. So go ahead and push everything down, and we're going to come back to the beginning. So now we're going to go ahead and lay the bands that are gray, and then the pink, the light pink that's in there. So the gray, I'm going to be laying on this pin going out. So like this, diagonal out to the right and diagonal out to the left. And then for the pink, we're going to go the opposite direction. So we're going to go in with the pink, like so. Going out with the gray, out with the gray, and again the gray ends up on top, so that can help you choose your color. And then we cross it going in with the pink. So you can do it this way and do the left and the right side at the same time, or you can strictly just do like this and just do the left side at once and then come back to the other side. It's really up to your preference, but just take notice that all my grays are underneath, all my pinks are laying on top. So just make sure you are following the correct order. I'm just kind of going back and forth for the sake of the video. I hope that's not confusing. So I'm going to go ahead and get all of mine laid, and then I'll come back and show you what to do next. Alrighty, so once you have all those laid, come back down to the beginning. And now we're going to lay a single chain on these two center pins. So I'm going to use opaque green for this part. And we're just going to go up the right and left side. You can do one right and left side of the middle, that is. And you can do one side at a time, or you can just kind of alternate. It's up to you. Doesn't really matter. I'm just going to alternate for the sake of the video. So I had to record or re-record a certain point of this video, so you may notice in certain clips it looks like I went down to the very end of the loom, and then in another clip it may look like I stopped like a little bit shy of the end of the loom, but you can disregard that. It doesn't affect the instructions or anything at all. My loom's running away from me. So this part is super easy. Just lay the single chain until you reach the top. And then I'll come back and show you what to do next, because we have just one more layer to add. So once you're done laying the two center single chains, come back to the beginning. And as I just stated, we're going to lay our last layer. And that's just going to be one single band. And we're going to lay them horizontally across these center pins. And we're going to start on the second row. You don't want to put one on the first one. So I'm going to use the same color that I used here because you don't really see it in the bracelet too much. And that's what Adele did in her example. She used the same color, so I'm just going to kind of stick with that. So just as before, we're going to do this until we reach the top. So I'm almost there. I'll get mine done and then we'll come back and we can start looping it up. Okay, so I did forget to mention the very last pin here. We're actually going to use the color of our border band and we're going to cap that one. Triple cap actually, because we want that nice and tight. So you can use your hook or you can do it straight on the loom. But I'm going to wrap it 3 times. And then we're going to place it across both pins here. And you can turn around and do it or do it with it still facing away from you. It doesn't matter. But we're also going to add a triple cap band onto these 2 pins here. You can double cap if you don't want it that tight. But I did an example with it only double capped and it stuck out a little. So I would recommend the triple cap band. Just makes everything nice and clean and tight. Like so. So now we can turn our loom around if you haven't already. And I just want to straighten these out a little. Now we can go ahead and start the looping process. So the first thing we're going to do is loop up the green in here. So that single chain border, we're just going to loop forward back to itself. And it is going to be a little tight because this first one is triple capped. So just go inside that cap band, grab your topmost band, and bring it forward. And you can do one side at a time, or you can do them both at the same time. Just bring it forward like so. We're going to go into the next row and do the same thing. Just make sure you're getting inside that horizontal pink band. And we're going to do this all the way up. Just, again, making sure that you are going inside this pink band and not on the outside of it. I just find it a little bit easier to do them at the same time opposed to going up and then coming back and then doing the other row. But you can do it as you wish. I am filming in an area where the lighting is not too great. So hopefully the color is okay and you guys can see all right. Just seems like it's a little bit dark. So go ahead and get that, excuse me, I'm a little scratchy. Go ahead and get those loomed up until the tippity top, and I will come back and show you what to do next. Alrighty, so once you're done looping those greens forward, come back to the beginning, and now we're going to loop the side X bands. So we're going to be doing the pink and the gray at the same time. Now you can work, like do both sides at the same time going up, or you can just do the left side and then come back and do the right, which is what I think I'm going to do. So we'll start on the left side here, and you want to loop the band that is on top first, so the band going out to the left. So go inside the center here, grab the top band, and we're just going to bring it back to itself to the left, like so. We're going to now go inside this pin and bring the gray back to itself. Now, there is going to be a lot of tension on this first one because this is a triple cap band. So keep that in mind. Just bring that back to itself. Going back into this pin here, you always want to start with that top band going out. And then you go inside this one and bring the gray back to itself. Going in here, oh, and definitely make sure that you're pushing back that top. Let's see here if I can show you. That top horizontal band that's crossing here, that band, make sure you're getting inside of that. So push that back and then grab that top band and bring it back to itself. Like so. And we're going to do that all the way up. Okay, so I reached the top, so it should just look like that, just like it did for the beginning of that side. So now I'm going to come back down to the beginning, and now I'm going to loop the right side the same way. And of course, like I said, you could have done this at the same time. I just found that this part particularly was easier if you did one side at a time. So going in, grabbing my pink, bringing that out, making sure you're doing your top band first. Then we're going to go into this triple cap band and bring the gray back to itself, coming in. So it's just like on the left side. Make sure you're getting inside that horizontal band there. So I just wanted to show you how to start this side, but since it's this exact same as the left side, I'm going to go ahead off of camera and finish it up, and I'll show you what we're going to do next. Alrighty, so that is what your loom should be looking like so far, now that I've reached the top. So we're going to come back to the beginning once again, and now we are going to loop up the middle. So, our middle X's. So we're going to be bringing them also back to themselves, which means they're going to be like crossing each other. But you want to make sure that we're starting with the band that is on top. So the bands I'm talking about are these ones in here. So I'm going to be starting on the right because that is my topmost layer. Now if you remember, we doubled that band, so it is going to be quite tight. So just be careful. I'm going to bring that back to itself. We're going to go back in, grabbing the left one, crossing that up to the right, like so. So now we're going to go inside the next section. If you laid them like I did, you'll always start on the right pin first, bringing it to the upper left. And then going inside this pin, and there's a lot of bands you're going through, so just push them all out of the way, grabbing that bottommost band, and bringing that like so. Doing the same thing here. And you'll feel once you get to this pin that there's not as much tension. This part's pretty easy because once you push back the bands, it's very obvious that there's the one band underneath that you'll be grabbing. You just want to make sure you're starting with the band that is laying on top and go in the same direction every time. That band looks awfully thin. I hope it doesn't break on me. So now this is what your loom should look like. All the way down. So the last thing we have to do is loop the border, which is super easy. So come down to the beginning. And now we can loop out our border. So these are triple capped. And it's going to be quite tight. So just be careful. Go into the center. Grab that triple cap in and bring it to itself. And do the same on the right side. And now we can loop straight up the left and the right side. This is going to be the one that is most difficult because we have 2 sets of triple cap bands on there. So just be careful not to snap that band. Grab the very bottom. And so that I don't stretch this too much, I'm just going to kind of wiggle it to make it loose like that. Oh, I didn't realize it went out of focus, sorry. But yeah, I just wiggled it a little bit to get it loose so that I didn't break my band. Just make sure you're getting inside that pink band there, or whatever color band you have. And just loop straight up. When you do reach this top, you're going to reach down into this pin, very bottom band. It's going to go in like so. And then, of course, come back down and do the right side. Doing the same exact thing we did on the left side. Grabbing that bottom band and bringing it forward. So I'm going to go off camera for this side, and I'll see you back here in a second. And just like before, make sure you bring that last one in, like so. And then now we have this band that's left under here in the center, or 2 if you put 2 on there. I only have 1. So we're just going to reach down inside, push everything back, and locate that very bottom band. Pull up on it, and just hold on to it. Do the same on the left one. And you can get them both and combine them on your hook, which is where we're going to put our C-clip. Like so. Just make sure you have it in there. And then highly recommend it when you take it off of the loom. I would use your hook and just take a moment. I would not try ripping it off of the loom. It's got a lot of tension. So this is the Talus bracelet created by the very talented designer Adele.Griffiths on Instagram. Please make sure you check her out and give her a follow. She is so amazing, has some really cool designs out. This bracelet is super easy to close. You're just going to locate the C-clip. And there's your cap band, and voila. Super, super easy. So there you have the completed Talus bracelet created by Adele.Griffiths on Instagram. Please make sure you tag her as well as myself, Loves to Loom, on Instagram if you make this. We'd love to see a rendition of it. And also hit the like button below if you did like making this bracelet. And I will see you all at my next video. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Bye!